You already know Florida won't tax your pension. Everybody knows that. But there's a state with an income tax that charges retirees exactly $0 on their Social Security, their pension, their 401k, and their IRA. No cap, no phase out, and most retirees have never even considered it. Today I'm ranking the 5 best states for your pension and retirement income and the 3 worst. I'm Jim Stevenson, a realtor here in the Philadelphia suburbs, and retirement relocations are a huge part of what I do. So I spend a lot of time comparing what states actually cost retirees, not just in taxes, but in everything. So let's start with the 3 states that will cost you the most in retirement, and the first one is going to surprise you. Vermont. Beautiful state, gorgeous scenery, and one of the worst places in America to retire on a pension. Vermont starts taxing your Social Security benefits if your income is above $50,000 as a single filer. $50,000. That's the lowest threshold in the entire country. Your pension gets taxed at rates up to 8.75%. Your 401k withdrawals, same thing. And Vermont has a flat 16% estate tax waiting for you after that. So a retiree pulling $50,000 from a pension and collecting $25,000 in Social Security is looking at $3,000 to $4,000 a year in state income tax on retirement income in a state with some of the highest property taxes in the Northeast. That's real money walking out the door every single year. Now here's where it gets worse, Minnesota. And I know what you're thinking, Minnesota has the Mayo Clinic, Minnesota has great hospitals. That's true, it does. But none of that matters to your budget when the state is taxing your retirement income at 9.85%. Minnesota taxes your pension and your 401k and your IRA withdrawals at that rate. It also still taxes Social Security for anyone earning above roughly $84,000. Plus they have an estate tax that kicks in at $3 million. So you're getting hit while you're alive and after you're gone. A retiree with a $65,000 pension and $25,000 in Social Security is paying roughly $4,500 a year in state income tax. That works out to $375 a month straight out of your retirement check. And then there's the biggest one, California, the state with the highest income tax in America, 13.3% at the top bracket. California does exempt your Social Security, that's real, but it taxes every other dollar of retirement income you have. Your pension, your 401k, your IRA, your annuity income, all of it. No exclusion, no deduction. A retiree with $60,000 in pension income and $30,000 from an IRA is handing California somewhere around $5,400 a year in state income tax. And that's before you deal with an $869,000 median home price and wildfire insurance premiums that have doubled in the last 5 years. All right, so that's the damage. Now you're probably thinking the obvious move is to pick a state with no income tax. Florida, Tennessee, Nevada, pack up and go. That makes total sense on the surface, but here's what actually happens when retirees make that move based on the income tax headline alone. Some of them end up spending more, not less. States that don't charge income tax still need revenue, and they get it from somewhere. Property taxes, sales tax, insurance costs driven by hurricane and wildfire risk, HOA fees that creep up every year. So when I ranked all 50 states, I didn't just look at income tax. I scored every state across 5 categories: retirement income tax treatment, property taxes and housing costs, healthcare access, lifestyle and logistics, and hidden costs like insurance and estate taxes. Let me show you the 5 states that came out on top, counting down from 5. Number 5, Iowa, the Midwest sleeper. Iowa recently overhauled its entire tax code, and starting at age 55, all of your retirement income is exempt from state tax. Social Security, pensions, 401k, IRA, zero. And they eliminated the inheritance tax in 2025. The flat income tax rate is dropping to 3.9%, but retirees won't even see that rate on their retirement income. Iowa's weaknesses are real though. Cold winters, limited metro amenities outside of Des Moines, property taxes around 1% that aren't cheap, and healthcare access outside the major metros is thin. But on pure retirement income projection, Iowa is doing something most people haven't noticed yet. Number 4, Nevada. No state income tax, no estate tax, no inheritance tax, and property taxes that rank 3rd lowest in the country at 0.47%. A retiree with a $400,000 home in the Las Vegas area is paying roughly $1,800 a year in property tax. That's it. Now you might look at that and think Nevada is the obvious winner, but the trade-off is healthcare. Nevada ranks 35th nationally with about 188 doctors per 100,000 residents. Compare that to a state like Pennsylvania at 280 per 100,000. If you're healthy and don't need regular specialists, Nevada works great. If you're planning for the next 15 or 20 years and want a deep bench of doctors you can actually get appointments with, that gap matters big time. These are the exact kinds of things I walk through with people when they're comparing states to retire in. Now here's where the ranking gets interesting, because the next state on this list is one most people would never put in a top 5 retirement video. Number 3, Pennsylvania. I know, a state with an income tax. Most people hear Pennsylvania and retirement in the same sentence and they keep scrolling. But here's what they're missing. Pennsylvania exempts 100% of your Social Security from state tax, 100% of your pension, public or private, 100% of your 401k withdrawals, 100% of your IRA distributions, no income cap, no phase out. The flat 3.07% rate only applies to earned income, investment income, and capital gains. So if you're a retiree living entirely on Social Security, a pension, 401k withdrawals, and IRA distributions, your Pennsylvania state income tax bill is $0. Functionally identical to Florida, functionally identical to Tennessee. Let me put a dollar amount on it. A retiree in California with $60,000 in pension income and $30,000 in investment income is paying about $5,400 in state income tax. That same retiree in Pennsylvania pays $921 on the investment income only. The pension, the Social Security, the 401k, $0. What that means is you need over $183,000 a year in non-retirement investment income before Pennsylvania's 3.07% rate costs you more than what Florida charges you in extra insurance premiums alone. And if you want me to run this exact comparison on your situation, feel free to book a call with me. No pressure at all. I'm happy to walk through the numbers with you. There's a link in the description, or if you're not ready for that yet, grab my free Philadelphia suburbs relocation guide using the QR code on screen. Now here's why Pennsylvania didn't land at number 1, property taxes. In the Philadelphia suburbs, you're looking at $6,000 to $9,000 a year on the kind of home most retirees are actually buying. I pulled the tax data on every active listing in Bucks, Montgomery, Chester, and Delaware County. On a home in the $400,000 to $600,000 range, the median tax bill is about $6,300 across the 4 counties. But in Delaware County, that median jumps to nearly $7,900. And in towns like Media or Newtown, you'll see tax lines pushing $8,000. That's driven almost entirely by school district taxes. And Pennsylvania has a 4.5% inheritance tax on assets you leave to your children, 12% to siblings. That's roughly $45,000 on $1 million estate passed to your kids. Those are real costs, and I won't sugarcoat them. That's what keeps Pennsylvania at number 3 instead of number 1. But here's where it gets personal. I was actually on a call last fall with a couple relocating from North Jersey. He had just retired from a pharmaceutical company with a $72,000 pension. She was collecting Social Security. They had their hearts set on Sarasota. She'd already started packing boxes in the garage. I pulled up the average homeowner's insurance cost for what, that part of Florida was. Over $6,800 a year. And in some coastal zip codes, way more than that. And they both went quiet. He started doing the math on his phone. That one number changed the entire conversation. They went from packing boxes for Florida to buying in Doylestown. Their homeowner's insurance is $1,400 a year. Their pension and Social Security are taxed at $0 by the state. And Doylestown Hospital just joined the Penn Medicine Network, so they've got a Penn Medicine hospital right in town. She told me later that her mom lives 20 minutes away and already sees a cardiologist at Penn. Staying close to that hospital system was the thing that tipped it. And that's the part the ranking doesn't capture. The Philadelphia suburbs put you within 20 to 40 minutes of Penn Medicine, ranked 13th in the country. Jefferson Health, Mainline Health, with 5 hospitals over 150 locations. You've got walkable downtowns in Media, Doylestown, Westchester, Newtown, towns with real restaurants and actual sidewalks, and you're close to enough to visit family in New Jersey or New York without getting on a plane. Pennsylvania is number 3 on the overall ranking, but for a Northeast retiree who wants 0 tax on retirement income and world-class healthcare within driving distance, it might quietly be number 1 on your personal list. All right, let's get to the top 2. Number 2, Tennessee. No income tax, no estate tax, no inheritance tax. Property taxes averaging just 0.56%. Nashville has strong hospitals. Vanderbilt is right there. Cost of living runs about 7% below the national average. Tennessee earns this spot honestly, but it has one weakness most people completely overlook. Tennessee has the highest combined sales tax rate in America, roughly 9.6%, and it taxes groceries at 4%. So a retiree spending $50,000 a year on taxable goods is paying close to $4,800 in sales tax. That's $400 a month that never shows up on any tax-free state article. For comparison, Pennsylvania exempts all groceries and all clothing from sales tax. That gap adds up fast over a 20-year retirement. And number 1, Florida. And look, Florida earned this spot. No state income tax. It's written into the state constitution. No estate tax, no inheritance tax, massive retiree infrastructure, senior communities, geriatric specialists, airports everywhere. The homestead exemption protects your property tax assessment with a 3% annual cap. On the full scorecard, Florida wins. But I wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't give you the full picture. Homeowners insurance in Florida now averages $7,136 a year, highest in the nation. In coastal counties, you're looking at $10,000 or more, plus flood insurance on top of that. A retiree who saves $3,000 a year by avoiding state income tax and then spends $5,600 more on insurance than they would in the Northeast just lost money on the move. Florida still works. It works really well for a lot of people, but you have to run the full numbers, not just the income tax line. So here's what this all comes down to. There's no single best state for every retiree. Florida wins if warm weather and zero income tax are your priorities. Tennessee wins if low property taxes and low cost of living matter most. Nevada wins on simplicity and low housing costs. And if you're from the Northeast and you want $0 on retirement income, plus hospitals ranked in the top 15 nationally, Pennsylvania is the one most people overlook. The smartest move is running the math on your specific situation and not chasing a headline. Now you know which states protect your retirement income and which ones take a massive cut. But here's what most people don't think about next. Pennsylvania's inheritance tax starts at $1. There's no exemption, no threshold, and it hits your kids at 4.5% on everything you leave behind. But there are legal ways to reduce that bill or eliminate it entirely, and most families don't find out about it until it's too late. Watch this video next because I'll show you the life insurance loophole that pays your heirs completely tax-free and the gifting strategy with a 1-year look-back rule that can save your family tens of thousands of dollars. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.